Now, you may not remember, but a little while ago, I was feeling a little bit of a void that I thought could only be filled with some amazing superhero mobile games, and although at the time it did help fill that void, it seems as though there's still something missing within my life. It took a little bit of soul searching out in the Himalayas, but I think I might have solved it. Turns out, although I've spent all this time working to become the world's greatest and most popular YouTube star, I haven't had enough time to focus on my own personal life, and I've never been able to find that great thing that people refer to as love. Unfortunately, I don't know how to talk to people, let alone women, and I figure the best way to do this is to see what it's like exactly to be one. Although I was once a single independent mother, it sadly doesn't seem to be enough experience to really get to know what I'm supposed to do when talking to women. I did try to do some research online, but it didn't quite work. I mean, I figured in this WikiHow where even Sandman from the Sam Raimi films was able to get a girl that I would be able to as well, but after making all these weird poses in front of women just like they did in the pictures, I didn't get any further. But I realized, however, that this article was updated a little over a week ago, and in this fast-paced world where people are always changing, a strategy to talk to someone that may have worked a week ago isn't going to work anymore. That's where video games yet again comes to save the day, by giving us a game that can accurately simulate what it's going to be like in the future and what it would be like as a woman in this future. This is where the game Dead or School comes in, and yeah, the name is pretty obvious and self-explanatory, but just for those of you who didn't get it, I'll give you a quick explanation to the best of my abilities. See, this game takes place in a future where humans have mysteriously turned into grotesque mutants of all kinds of shapes and sizes. The remaining humans pull a Gurren Lagann and decide that they're all gonna go move underground with the help of specialized humans who are really good at digging, and they are appropriately named diggers. You play as a girl who was raised underground her whole life, and after talking about your grandmother, you learn about this thing that was called school on the surface, and after inheriting her old school uniform, which is in surprisingly good shape for something that old, you then decide that you're gonna head out and clear a way to the surface so that you can make your own school. Now, if you're wondering what Gurren Lagann is, well, it's basically an anime, and that's relevant because this game takes place in Japan, and as we all know, anime is an accurate depiction of something that has happened at some point overseas in that mysterious eastern land. If you're wondering how a girl in Japan manages to defend herself against mutants, it's pretty simple. She just uses her massive katana as well as a rifle and a rocket launcher that I assume every woman just carries around for protection. Now, along the way through the subway, you do find some friends such as a scientist, a digger, and a bunch of drug addicts. There's also some survivors who are just kind of chilling around until you convince them to come help you build a school. So after fighting a bunch of different kinds of mutants, such as really fat ones and some with giant horns on its head, you learn that you need to make your way towards Akihabara, which is apparently super infested with mutants, but also for some reason that makes it the best location to start your school, because I guess your school will also let mutants attend it. I mean, I can't quite figure out why anybody else would want to build a school in the most infested place of them all, but I'm not one to judge. Now, speaking of Akihabara, it's also the location of another Japanese documentary called Steins Gate, where a group of lab members led by the mad scientist Hoen Kiyoma end up building a time machine. Now, I wanted to know more about the location of my potential school, so I decided to delve right into Steins Gate, and while watching it, I found something terrifying. Without giving too much away from the show, pretty early on during some testing of the time machine, they do manage to send a banana back in time, except when it comes out, it's all green and jelly, thus giving it the name the Gel Nana. Now, another green thing would of course be the mutants in this game, and that makes me fear that all of these mutants are the leftover husks of people who have traveled through time, and then what's been left over in their place in this world line is a creepy green monster. Now, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put my quest to find a boyfriend-free girl on hold while I venture off to Japan to make sure I can stop the creation of time machines before it's too late. Please wish me luck, and if you wish to help, make sure you study the blade and come meet me in Akihabara so that we can stop this awful future full of mutants from coming to fruition. There's another video, and if you enjoyed it, be sure to like it. If you didn't, you can dislike it, you can comment, you can subscribe, you can share, you can do all that stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't want to tell you what to do. You're your own boss. You can do whatever you want to do, and have yourself a nice day.
Go, 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 go. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go faster, 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 faster. Moving at speed of sound. Let's try quickest hedgehog around. Got ourselves a situation stuck in a new location without any